This week, the human design transits of the sun and earth are lighting up two of the most challenging, but also potentially awesome gates in the human design system. So make sure that you check out the whole video so that you know how to maximize the benefits and avoid the pitfalls, because this one can definitely pull you down if you're not paying attention. Okay, let's dive in. Before we dive into the sun and the earth, I want to make note of a particular configuration. It started on October 22nd, so a couple of days ago. And this was with Mercury moving into the gate 1 and joining their Uranus, who is in the gate 8. So this is a channel that's right here. It goes from the G center, which if it's defined in your chart, it's yellow, and it connects to the throat, which is brown. And there's this beautiful channel here called the 1-8. So Mercury is now in the 1. Uranus has been in the 8, is going to continue to be in the 8. So the thing that has changed is that Mercury is in that 1, and it's just going to be there through the 26th. So you've got just today and tomorrow to take advantage of it. But this is like a beautiful support for you to be able to express yourself, because the 1 is purpose or self-expression. And it makes sense. It's coming out of the identity center, which is the G center, right? And so we're able to express from our heart, from our identity center, from our sense of love and lovability. And we express that out through the throat in our contribution that we make into the world. So Uranus has been there kind of saying to us, what are you doing with your contribution, right? Does it need to be awakened? Does it need to be changed? Does it need to be up-leveled? Right. And then the self-expression comes in during this short period of time. And Mercury is our communication, right? It's about what we're here to speak about, potentially what we're here to teach about and to share about. And so we've got this energy for being able to share what's really truly in our hearts and what it is that we most want to express, what it is that it's our purpose. And then we have this energy for bringing it out into the world through Uranus in that gate 8. So I would encourage you to take advantage of this, even for just today and tomorrow, so that you can know that what you have to say, what your purpose is, the contribution you make into the world is important. It matters. And if it's not 100% in alignment for you right now, then you can use this energy to change it. Even if all you're doing is changing your attitude, changing your perception or your perspective on it. Because that's always available to you, even if you can't go out and change what you do for a living immediately or anything like that, right? But what you can do is change your attitude, right? Or your perception. And how can you infuse whatever it is that you're doing in your life with the sense of purpose and contribution so that you can feel more satisfied, right? You can feel more met, that what it is that you're on purpose with, what it is you're providing is something that is contributing to the world. So have fun with this one. Let's start with the Earth placement first. So the Earth has just moved into the gate 27. The gate 27 is on the sacral center, which is primary life force energy, and it's responsive. But it is part of the most powerful engine in the chart. And so the 27 has that energy. It's this really powerful life force energy. It's part of the defense circuit, which is part of the tribal circuit. And it's called responsibility or accountability. The reason for that is it's really, we colloquially call it the mother-grandmother gate. It's this energy for taking care of others, for taking care of youngers, for taking care of olders, for whoever it is in the tribe, but particularly close in, because this tends to be pretty familial in the defense circuit. It's people who are pretty close in, who we're caring for. In traditional human design, it's called responsibility, because it's this idea that we have responsibility for the youngers and the olders, right? When we're in our adult mature phase and we've got plenty of energy, we're here to take responsibility for the well-being of the people in our family, the people who are close in our tribe. However, the 27 can be prone to codependence. It can be overly giving. It can be overly wanting to provide for and to take care of to its own detriment, which is why it's been called accountability in quantum human design. This is something that women get really acculturated into, that it's our role and our responsibility to be taking care of the family, which is a pretty old notion, and actually isn't even really that old, because, we used to live much closer together, much more tribally, and with multiple generations in any particular house. So this idea that this one woman is supposed to be responsible for the family is actually, it's a 20th century idea. It didn't really exist in the same way before that, because there are always a lot more people involved. So one of the things we need to wake up to and become accountable for is that we're not trying to make up for the fact that we don't have a tribal society and multi-generational families, that where the responsibility is being shared and spread around among all of the adult members, so that the woman, who is probably working full-time herself, right, doesn't get saddled with all of the responsibility for the family. That is the old order, and we need to get rid of it. So Pluto is still in Capricorn, still excavating out the things from the old order that we no longer need. And I say that the woman alone is responsible for the whole family is something we need to get rid of. I think that it needs to be a shared responsibility among a bunch of us, right? And that this is part of what we're moving into as we evolve into the new world, where it's more equitable, right? We're not dumping responsibility that used to be shared by a whole family just on one person. Right. And so this is where we need to innovate, where we need to be digging in and saying, okay, how can we do this differently? The other thing that can happen with the 27, so the disempowered aspect of the 27 is when we are giving to our own detriment, right? We're not giving from the overflow, and we're actually draining ourselves and using the end of our reserves, right, to take care of others. That is not sustainable. It's not going to work, even though it's sacral energy. You will eventually burn yourself out by acting that way. But the shadow is narcissism, because the shadow can be like, other people are supposed to take care of me. Right? Please take care of me. And then they're acculturating other people into them being the servants, basically the people who serve the person who sees themselves as being in the center and needs to be taken care of. So you want to watch out for that too, right? There can be a little bit of shadow that comes in for people who are like, the family is here for my benefit. You may know people like that. You may have expressed that on occasion, right? But we want to watch out for that, because when that 27 is lit up, any of us can fall into it, right? But that really awakened and empowered expression is when we can, yes, be in a nurturing, caretaking role, but we do it with good boundaries. We do it not to our own detriment. We make sure that we take care of ourselves first, and then we support others with the amount of energy that we have to do that. But that we're not seeing that somehow other people are more important, and that we're not. And we really stand in our own value, create good boundaries for ourselves, show up, pay attention, do give, but then also withdraw when you're done and you need to restore yourself. So the earth is lighting up that 27. So we really want to ground ourselves in this sense of right responsibility, right relationship, where there's a reciprocity that's happening in the relationship, where the person who's doing more of the caretaking has other kind of support that's coming in, typically for her, but could be for anybody, so that person is really well resourced and is giving from their overflow. That's reciprocal, right relationship. So this is something that we can really ground ourselves in. And whatever your such a relationship situation is with people in your family, you can have this as an aspiration. You can have this as something that you're really wanting to step into for yourself and you want to embody for yourself. Now, if you've been an overgiver, some of the people in your life, if you kind of step back and say, I'm not going to do that so much, they may not like that very much. Okay. Because they're used to you serving them. So you might have to deal with that. And that's part of creating new boundaries, is sometimes people are like, wait a minute, you always did this for me before. Now you don't want to do it anymore. But that's part of our growth, right? And as we're becoming sovereign, what we're doing is we're stepping more and more into our own truth and taking care of ourselves, taking care of each other, but doing it in right reciprocal relationship. So as we ground ourselves, right, in this sense of right relationship, we create a solid foundation for the sun, which is lighting up the gate 28. Now, the gate 28 has a really bad reputation. I have this lit up in my chart, and it is a big assignment, the 28. The 28 is known as the gate of struggle. It's part of the channel of struggle. It's also been renamed challenge in quantum human design. And so it is about being able to take something that comes to us that we're like, oh, and we go, okay, what's the challenge? And then what's the opportunity? And even what's the adventure? Because the 28 is on the spleen center and it's in the knowing circuit. And so it is, it doesn't fit in. It's here to bring change. It carries the evolutionary energy that's running through the human design chart that is here for us for humanity. So the thing that I've done for myself with that 28 energy, because I can fall into struggle, right? I mean, I don't do it so much anymore because I know how to work this, but I would say at different points in my life, I absolutely could fall into that. And the thing you really want to watch out for with the 28 is it is victim consciousness in its lowest expression. It's a really disempowered expression. It's like, oh, everything's happening to me. I have no agency, right? Not a sovereign way to live at all. Then in its shadow expression, it can actually be kind of an empowered victim where it keeps kind of having this victim attitude, like things are coming at it. And then it's trying to orchestrate and get other people to do things for them that take away their challenge. Right. So you want to watch out for that too. But really the power of the 28 and the way that there can be some joy and excitement, and anticipation with the 28 is when you can recognize that you're really like an ambassador from the future. That's what the title that I choose to embrace for myself with the 28 is, being the ambassador of the future. Now, of course, I'm not the ambassador of everything having to do with the future, but I have the areas that I feel I can be bringing in this evolutionary energy that I get through my knowing circuit and through that 28. Because if you think about us being on the leading edge of consciousness, because that's what the evolutionary energy of individual circuitry is about, is this leading edge of consciousness. And it's not seen any more clearly in the human design chart than it is in the gate 28. So what does that mean to be on the leading edge of consciousness? What does it mean to be an ambassador of the future? For me, I think it has to do with really embracing the impulses and the intuition that comes to us, because individual circuitry is highly intuitive, especially the knowing circuit, right? Is to be able to receive the possibilities for innovation that come to us. The sense of, wow, we could do it like this, or it could go this way, or it could go that way. And to allow ourselves to release and drop away so many of the forces that are trying to get us to conform and to fit into old structures that don't work for us, right? But rather to open up our hearts, to open up our minds, to open up our whole spirit self to new possibilities. And to be an advocate for that, to be an ambassador for that, to say, hey, we could do this differently. We could innovate. We could make up new things. We can create. And this can be disruptive energy because individual circuitry in general can be disruptive. And the 38, which is the mate of the 28, is known as the fighter in traditional human design, or the visionary leader, or the Martin Luther King gate in quantum human design. And so there is this sense of this being on that leading edge of consciousness is related to being somebody who is like putting a stake in the ground around what they believe in, which is where we are aiming to direct our evolutionary energy, right? That 38 is known as that Martin Luther King gate, right? And so knowing that this is really powerful energy that frankly can be hard for you to deal with if you don't know what it is and you don't know how to work with it. Because, you want to make sure you're not just like collapsing into victim consciousness this week. Don't do that. You're not going to feel very good, and nobody around you is going to feel very good if you do that. Okay. So You want to be able to be like, okay, there's this intense energy, and it's almost like getting up on a horse, right? And being like, okay, I'm going to gather it and I'm going to harness it and I'm going to direct it and I'm going to send it where I want to. So my question for you is, are there things in your life that you've been discarding because you feel like they're too revolutionary, too disruptive, too evolutionary, too out of the box, too strange, too whatever? But there's still a part of you that's like, yeah, but it's also kind of cool and I'm really interested in it, right? Are there things like that in your life? This would be a great week for you just to be paying attention to them and kind of asking them what it is that they want to teach you, what it is they want to show you, what is it for you there that's coming in that wants to get expressed. Because after all, the sun is what you're shining out into the world, right? So do you want to shine victim consciousness out into the world, right? Probably not. So what do you want to shine out into the world? What do you want to be an ambassador for? Right? This is one of the reasons I love human design, because I feel that human design itself is an ambassador for the future. And so I love playing around with it, and I'm glad you do too. If you enjoy these transit reports, I am cooking up some good stuff for us for 2025. And I would like to know, are you interested in a program that would help you to really understand the transits, know how to relate it to your chart, know how to use it for planning, all the different things that you can do with the transits? Now, I have asked this before and I did get a yes, 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 but I'm going to ask it again because now I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking about doing it. So what I'd like you to do is, if you are interested in that, I want you to register your interest. I have a wait list going. Okay. It's a wait list for a new program called Master the Neurtrinos stream, which I love because that's what we want to do. You know, like the transits are really tracking the neutrino stream, right? The energy that is coming into the solar system, which is also inside of us. And how is that influencing us? And so I would love to share more of that with you and really kind of give you some templates and some worksheets that you can use for all the transits, also including in the moons, the new moon and the full moon, and then the high holy days in the earth-based spirituality, like the solstices and the equinoxes. So I'm really looking at putting something together for you for that. And I want to know, do you want that? Because I want to do it if you want to do it, but I don't want to put all the time and energy and effort into it if there's not enough interest. So please do look for the link here at the end of the video or in the description. You can find the link down there, and it's just joining a wait list. So you're not buying anything or obligated at all. But when you do that, you'll be the first to know when this program becomes available. I may also potentially reach out to you and say, run some things by you, what I'm considering. I might send you like a little survey or a little form you can fill out just to say, you know, are you interested in this? Or are you interested in that kind of thing? So but then also, because you'll be among the first to know, I'm going to give you some early bird pricing as my thank you for being here, watching my transit reports, and also for taking the time to register your interest and ideally to give me some input if you decide that you want to do that. Okay, so please do let me know. Are you interested in mastering the neutrino stream? Because I would like to do that with you if you want to do it. Okay, many blessings. Much love. Bye for now.